It's the 2025 Daytona 500 and Lightning McQueen in his 95 Rust-eze Camaro is set to take on the next-gen 2.0 Jackson Storm behind the wheel of that Toyota Camry here for 30 laps of racing as we try to take McQueen from 40th place to the Daytona 500 against Jackson Storm. We are underway here. Joey Logano, William Byron lead the field to the green flag as we are underway for 8 laps of racing in stage number 1 as we, like I said, have 30 laps total to try and get ourselves as Lightning McQueen in front of not only Jackson Storm but in front of the rest of the field to win this Daytona 500. Immediately a move in front of that number 43 to get alongside Tyler Reddick in the 51. There's Jesse Love in the number 33. Just in front of us, you got the number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing of Christopher Bell as we head down this back straightaway on this opening lap of racing. I've done this challenge before back in 2021, but it was with the Generation 6 NASCAR Cup Series car. Now we are with the Next Gen Cup Series car as we head down this front straightaway, getting a nice draft and pull from the 54 Monster Energy Toyota Camry driven by Ty Gibbs. Ending lap 1 already up 6 positions, and we were getting aggressive early on. Couldn't quite tell where Jackson Storm was, but I knew he was midfield somewhere, trying to gain as many spots as we can in these opening couple of laps to put ourselves in a good position towards the end of stage number 1. Currently it's the number 6 of Brad Keselowski leading this field here now as we're going to jump down to the middle lane now behind the 52 of Cole Custer. Christian Eckes in the 15 on my outside as we exit turn 4, running into the back of that 52 of Custer. He's all over the place. Fortunately, keeps it going in a good direction, good manner there. Now as we're going to be able to get down to the inside right here behind the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek as we come to already lap 5 of this race and haven't made a huge amount of progress since the end of that first lap. Looking to try and find a little bit more in it over the next few laps now as we actually clip the apron there through 1 and 2, but currently still a ways behind Jackson Storm, and as we were approaching 3 laps to go in the stage, going to get aggressive, 3 wide up the inside of the 42, 3 laps to go in stage number 1 to the back of the 98, a huge run, we take it to the inside, we'll get a pull from Zane Smith for Front Row Motorsports in that number 38, Kyle Busch in that Trackhouse 99 Honda Civic on the outside as we roll through 1 and 2, coming to 2 laps to go in the stage. You can see Jackson Storm in front of us now, 2 laps to go in stage 1, and there he is, Jackson Storm, running just outside of the top 20, just like myself as a Lightning McQueen now as we're going to get right to the back of his Toyota Camry, up the racetrack now, settling in behind him, and of course these two have such a, I would guess you could call it a rich history from the Cars 3 movie, and on this final lap, both myself and Storm worked our way down to the inside and not really looking to make any crazy aggressive moves right now, so we're going to stay in line behind Storm as we roll through 3 and 4 and just make sure we get to the end of this stage in good fashion. And we've worked our way through about half of the grid here in just 1 stage of racing as we are on the inside of the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen, right to the back of Storm, coming to the line, P23 for McQueen, P21 for Storm in the first and opening stage now as we'll get ready for the second stage of this race now. So no pit stops necessary throughout this race now as we'll get ready for the second stage here. Brad Keselowski, your stage winner over Brody Kostecki, Austin Cindric, and Chase Elliott there in 4th position. Starting in line directly behind Jackson Storm right here now in the green flag. It's back out. We're racing again for stage number 2. A bit of a slow start for that Jackson Storm machine. As you can see, some gap between him and the 17 Fastenal Ford Mustang of Chris Buescher, teammate to Brad Keselowski. 9 laps here in stage 2, so 1 additional lap of racing. A great run on this inside line. That'll put us past the 97, the 48, Joey Logano, your 2015 Daytona 500 champion. He's going 3 wide with the 2024 Daytona 500 champion, William Byron. Now as we'll stay with the 2.0 machine, Jackson Storm going forward, and so are we. A huge shout out to Sanok, actually, who made this 95 Rust-eze livery. I actually made the Jackson Storm car, but Sanok did a way better job at this car than I did on the Jackson Storm car. But yeah, love this paint scheme that he whipped up here now, as you might as well see a livery reference to Lightning McQueen on my career mode car in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, which you can of course check out as we continue down this back straightaway. Lap 3 coming to lap 4. Again, a run to the inside of the Logitech 24 of William Byron, crossing the stripe. 6 to go in the stage, and we're almost into the top 10 following Jackson Storm, who's worked his way into the top 10 now as well on the inside of the 30 of Brody Kostecki there. Austin Hill just behind, actually cut him off, actually went way up the racetrack and opened up the door for William Byron to my inside. Fortunately, with the draft from the 17, I get clear of the 24, jump back down to the inside behind Jackson Storm. Now coming to just 5 to go in stage at number 2. Bubba Wallace in the 23 right there in front of us as well. We get past him with Storm as well. We're following Storm through this grid. Keselowski, your stage 1 winner, going backwards here at the tail end of stage 2. Ross Chastain just in front. Todd Gilliland as well. Austin Cindric, Alex Bowman all up there in the mix now as we continue behind Storm and letting him just pull us through to the front of the field. There's no sense in making life hard on both of us now. Jackson Storm not going to make things easy. We know how he races Lightning McQueen as we exit turn 4 down this front straightaway, and through 3 and 4 we go. Coming to 2 to go on the stage, we have followed Storm into the top 5, currently led by Sammy Smith for Andretti Global over Meyer-Shank Racing's 06 of Austin Cindric. Final lap of the stage at this point and following Storm, but none of us got any further. It's going to be 3rd and 4th. It's all single file up here in about the top 6, 7, 8 cars or so as we look for the run on the exit of 4. It's going to be Sammy Smith down the front straightaway coming through to win stage 2, and we set ourselves up well 4th for stage 3, the 3rd and final stage alongside Storm. P3, P4 for Storm and McQueen. How about that? As we'll get ready for one final stage of racing. Winner take all. Who's going to win the 2025 Daytona 500 now, as it's Sammy Smith and Austin Cindric the front row. We're back racing here from Daytona. It's 9 laps to go in stage 3. Storm has an immediate advantage there, 3 wide behind us, but Storm can go forward on the inside. Meanwhile, we have to wait patiently for the 06 car, who's not going to quite have the same advantage as we roll through turns 1 and 2. Just being patient, waiting. He's starting to go now. A bit of a lack of momentum on the bottom now. Cindric pulls even with Storm as we exit turn 2 down this back straightaway. Keselowski on my inside. In my mirror, you see Eric Jones in the 34. William Byron looking to my left rear right now as Sammy Smith tries to cover off this pack of 39 cars behind him, trying to fight for the lead. He leaves the door open for Jackson Storm, who goes to the lead. We split the middle 3 wide, and we'll get through on Austin Cindric, just about clear, not quite. He's still in my right rear, and now we slow our momentum 3 wide middle with the 06 and the 24 of William Byron. Here comes the 98 of Chase Briscoe, and he's going to go through on the inside. We drop down to P7, not the exact restart we want. Shane Van Gisbergen pulls up to my rear bumper now, about a car length and a half off of me now as we give a shot to the back of the 98. Sammy Smith going backwards. Jackson Storm in command over Brad Keselowski and Byron. Byron jumps up to the top. Storm in the middle, Keselowski on the inside, who would jump up to the top behind Storm and follow Byron, and they left the door wide open for me, and I had just enough of a draft from Jackson Storm to pull up alongside 3rd place and now 2nd place of Keselowski in that King's Hawaiian Ford Mustang. Side by side for P2, even through the center of the corner, but we pull ahead. Can we clear him on the exit of turn 2? The answer is absolutely. P1 Jackson Storm, P2 hello Lightning McQueen is here in the mix for the win of the Daytona 500 here in 2025. We look to the right side, pulling out that right rear quarter panel of Storm. We have a nice gap to the cars behind, but we're side drafting. Here comes Keselowski now into the mix through 3 and 4, and we're going to lose a position. So we learn very quickly what's not going to work now as we'll jump back down in line behind Keselowski in front of SVG now with just a handful of laps of racing to go. To be 5 laps to go when we come back around one more time. Keselowski again leaves the outside, or leaves the inside wide open, takes the outside. We take P2 back, and what can we do with Jackson Storm? It's going to be a brawl between himself and I. A run down into turn 3 on lap 28. We take the move to the inside, looking for the lead of the Daytona 500. Storm, McQueen, wheel to wheel. Who's going to come out on top of this one? Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen. Is he going to stay with me, or will he stay with Storm? He stays on the inside. We have more help but Storm appears to have more speed. He gets clear with 4 laps to go. This fight is far from over. Again, another run to the inside of Jackson Storm, coming to 3 laps to go. The draft pulls you up so far, and then you just got to go for that slingshot move and hope you get clear. We're not quite clear, but Shane Van Gisbergen again coming up to the back of us as we roll through 1 and 2. We are clear officially of Jackson Storm. Hold on as we exit turn 2. He fights back. He's got help from the 3, Richard Childress Racing, driver of Austin Hill, down this bank straightaway. Here comes that number 3 pushing forward now. As you do know, all the drivers are a little bit different here because they are modded. It would be Austin Dillon in real life in that number 3. It's Austin Hill in the game. Jackson Storm clear, coming to 2 laps to go. We haven't been able to quite complete the pass on him, and as we start these final 2 laps of racing, it looks like it's going to be a straight up duel between Storm and Mcqueen. Who's going to come out on top now as we have a draft, we have a run, not close enough to make a move into turn 3. Storm has it covered on the inside, and the move's going to have to be on the inside. We won't be able to do it on the outside. We don't have any help as well. SVG's too far back as we approach the final lap of the Daytona 500 here from 2025, and it's a perfect storm, quite literally. Jackson Storm in P1, Mcqueen in P2. Who comes out on top? A few years ago it was Mcqueen. Will it be the same again, or is Jackson Storm the villain going to get the villain arc to be successful here as we run through 1 and 2 for the final time in this Daytona 500, staying as close as we can, but full throttle. Even with the draft, it's not enough. Storm manages the gap. I don't think we're going to get there. About a quarter car length on the run into turn 3. We're closing, not close enough to make a move. We pull right, staying full throttle, not even trying to lift at this point to build up a run, just trying to be as close as we can through 3 and 4, but it's not going to be enough. Jackson Storm out of turn 4 down the front straightaway is going to win the 2025 Daytona 500 over Lightning McQueen. Not the ending we wanted to see here a few years later. Jackson Storm is a Daytona 500 champion, and we're going to have to try again in the future to get McQueen back on top. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day.